In 1966, Fiat introduced their iconic 124 Spider. That vehicle was available in North America all the way into the 1980s. That vehicle was very popular. Why? It was a front-engine, rear-wheel drive sports car. It was a roadster with Italian styling. It was affordable, and best of all, it was a lot of fun to drive. Well, fast forward 50 years, and this here is the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider. We're here in beautiful San Diego to find out more about it. First off, you might have heard that the new 124 Spider is based on the Mazda MX-5 platform, and that's true. Is this just really a dressed-up MX-5?
It's absolutely not a dressed-up Miata. It's a completely unique Fiat Spider. Everything about it, the whole driving experience is completely unique, all the way from the sheet metal to the interior craftsmanship to the suspension tuning to the exhaust note to the whole driving experience. I've been so excited to have this happen because now I can actually have people drive this car and see how different it is.
Look at the front end, it looks sexy. You got that long hood with those two dimples in it. The front end, you can really see that Italian styling. You have halogen lights and then of course LED surrounds on there. They made good use of the LEDs. Then onto the side, this one is the Lusso model, is equipped with 17-inch wheels up from the 16-inch from the Classico base model. But what they've done, which really pays homage to the original 124, right by the door handle, you see that horizontal line actually kick up a little bit, which really accentuates that this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. The back deck is short, but the overall wheelbase and width of the car are the same as the MX-5, except this 124 Spider is 5 inches longer. It's 3 inches longer in the front and 2 inches longer in the back. Because of that, you actually get more cargo room. The inside of the 124 Spider is very cockpit oriented. Everything is close at hand. The seats are very, very comfortable. This is the middle trim, which comes with a 7-inch touchscreen. By the way, the touchscreen can only be used when you're not moving. When you're on the road, you have this rotary dial here, which is very easy to use. This is also equipped with automatic climate control, heated seats, and 2 USBs. The finishing is extremely nice on this model. Now, one other thing about these seats, they have speakers in the headrest. Now, if you get the regular standard stereo, you do not get 2 speakers in a headrest, you get 1, and that's for communication for using your Bluetooth phone. But if you get the 9-speaker Bose system, you actually get 2 speakers in each headrest, which allows you to play music as well. There are a couple movable drink holders, and for storage, you're not going to get a lot of it. You have this small little area here, which is probably enough for some cables and a phone. And then you have a lockable compartment in the rear, which is fairly deep. You can put some books and papers in there. Okay, on the road in the Fiat 124 Spider. First off, power plant. Definitely different than the MX-5, which has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. This is the 1.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, the same one that you'd find in the Fiat 500 Abarth, except this is the first time they've used it in a rear-wheel drive application. Now that's matched to a 6-speed automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual. For me, I would opt for the manual any day, especially on a sports car like this. So 160 horsepower and 184 foot-pounds of torque, which is definitely more than the MX-5. This car does weigh a little bit more though, by about 100 pounds, so it kind of evens it out. Off the line, it has some good power there. That 160 horsepower is definitely noticeable in a car this size. Would I like more? Of course, but who doesn't want more? The automatic transmission shifts okay. Now I do wish there is a manual shifting option if you just switch it over and you can manually shift it, which I've been doing, but there is no sport option mode on the automatic transmission, which I really wish they had. Been driving it on some twisty roads as well as the freeway, and the freeways here in San Diego are those concrete freeways. They're very rough, and they've done a very good job, an amazing job of the suspension.
So we had to tune the suspension. We took multiple trips back and forth to Japan, all around Italy, all around the United States. We just needed to ensure that this suspension tuning was adaptable to all road conditions, all climates, all altitudes, and in order to do that, you have to travel around the world.
The suspension along with the seats make it for a very compliant ride. You could drive this on a very long trip, no problem whatsoever. And just surprising, it's not a real jarring ride. They really did a great job. Now, for some people, a 124 is not just a fair weather driving car. They could use this as an everyday driver and year-round driver, which means that they're not always gonna have the top down. So, easy as you flick that forward, one-handed, about 3 seconds, and you have that top up. Now, Fiat has went through a lot of work making the top up experience a lot more quiet and more luxurious.
All of our trim models have 8 particular noise canceling items that we adopted. The purpose was to make sure that on all trim levels we could quiet the interior of the cabin as much as possible, and we achieved that by including those 8 particular items. The acoustic front windshield, we have a thicker rear glass, we have insulator pads underneath the floor in the tunnel, insulator pad in the IP dash, just to name a few.
And you want the top back down, simple click, flip back, the windows roll down a little bit, clicks in, that's it, easy. If you want to go for the gusto, then you should go for the Fiat 124 Spider Abarth. What does that get you? Well, first of all, on the outside, you get this gunmetal color theme throughout the whole vehicle, which looks really good. So that includes the 17-inch wheels, the A-pillar, the hood, the mirrors, and you have the availability of Brembo brakes. On the inside, you get standard heated leather seats, or you can get optional Recaro seats as well. You get a leather-wrapped steering wheel and shift knob if you get the manual, and everything that the Lusso comes with as well. Okay, besides the cosmetic differences on the Abarth, you also get, it's the same engine, but it's tuned a little bit different. You get 4 more horsepower, not a huge deal, but what you do get is you get a sport setting, and that changes your throttle response, the transmission, and it really balances out the car a lot more. First of all, for $1,500 for the Abarth package, it's a deal, and I can't see why, unless you don't like that sportiness, I definitely get the Abarth. But one thing you really notice is the sound. Listen to that sound. Oh, it sounds great. And that comes out of quad tip exhaust pipes, which is standard only on the Abarth. For suspension wise, you get Bilstein shocks all around, plus the whole suspension is being calibrated to be a lot stiffer. Is it really stiff? I wouldn't mind it to be a little stiffer, but it's definitely predictable. On the Abarth edition, you also get a mechanical limited slip differential. It's a lot of fun.
So starting with the Classica, that's our entry-level model. That's going to start at $33,495. From there, it's a $3,000 step to the Lusso, which brings in leather interior and some nice creature comforts. That's going to start at $36,495, and from there, it's a $1,500 step to the Abarth, $37,995. You get the bump in power, the upgraded sport suspension with the Bilstein shocks, a mechanical limited slip. Really nice package at that price point.
The 124 Spider is definitely not an MX-5 Miata. You have a different power plant, different styling, different calibrations for the suspension. It is a different vehicle. Yes, there are some similarities though, and they're both great cars. I've driven both of them. So which one do you choose? I think it all really depends on what you feel like. Do you feel like sushi or do you feel like pasta? Personally, I like something a little bit more rich and filling. So today I'm choosing Italian.